Hi everyone. I hope you can see me. Just let me know if you can't, because I was going to do a quick test, but I need a new laptop to be fair. Um, but this is our uh, series, the Growth Formula series. This is the second one of it, is getting yourself set for success. Now, it is sort of taken from my book, which we talk about a bit later anyway. But it's all looking at what you can do to set yourself up for success. And a lot of this is just ensuring that things work well for you and the way you are doing things. So I'm just gonna, just bear with me one second. Something's just fallen down here. Hopefully that will stay there. So this webinar, what we always talk about, is this right for you? So what I'm going to sort of talk about is um, growing your practice, your firm, your bookkeeping firm, your business. And the idea there is I'm looking at tried and tested techniques that I've learned, but that other people have sort of taught me, that I've learned from experience and what I've read about as well. Because there's loads out there, which is where I've got lots of my information from, and I've just put it together in my book as well. But I'm trying to craft things so that it's easy to connect to people, and that business owners especially can move things forward. And the whole point is business is not easy. And I'll go through that because I thought it was initially, and I'm sure you guys did as well, because we all do. But then when you get going with it, it's a lot more difficult than you believe it is at the start. So we'll start off with some, you always start off with great dreams and everything of what you're going to do, and all that. Yeah, but you might even sort of have a sort of a compelling vision and stuff. And that's what we're going to talk a bit more about. So your vision, how you communicate it to your team, how you get everybody involved. Because part of the growth formula, which we looked at the last week's months, February's growth series, that was looking at the formula, the U, the Y, and that is a massive part. So we're only going to cover a few things of the U in this, but we will be covering that. So it's focused on your vision. That's the main focus of this. So if this is the right one for you, get set and we'll go. Press the button. So what will you learn today? So, and I'll just go through each of these points, but what it is that you must define what you want from your firm and how to do it. Now, this is all part of your vision. My book is The Firm You Want. That is basically making sure that you do look at what you want and everything, and then build whatever you want around it. But we'll talk more about that shortly. Also, what you need to generate the energy and motivation, in order to succeed. Now, I'm not a PT or anything, but I'm just going to give a few little tips of what I've learned over the years, because I have been doing it for years, building energy and everything, in order to do whatever I do. And then how to develop resilience and avoid procrastination. So procrastination does kill. It stops anything ever happening, unfortunately. And also the resilience. So carry on going, because that's the thing. Things aren't easy. So why should you listen to me? I do cover this. I'm going to go through it fairly quickly, but I just cover this. So I am the MD of Naylor Accountancy Services, which we are growing constantly. And we're doing that by acquisition every year at the moment. Plus organically. We'll start intelligent outsourcing in 2026, and now that's 100 people with 3 offices in the Philippines. And we're helping accountancy firms, in US, Canada, UK, grow their firms and able to get onto the added value within their businesses. So that's why you might want, I've actually come in from a place where I am stepping out of doing the doing and being what we call the visionary in the both businesses. So this is Superman, but if you follow some of the advice that I'm going to talk through, it'll just help you craft your vision and just supercharge yourself, but to basically look to how to achieve it. And it is step by step. Nothing happens overnight. And that's what I always say. It's step by step, but without that plan, knowing where you're going, you have no idea what it's going to be like. And you might not feel like Superman or have the energy but at the moment, but you can look at getting the energy and the vision to be clear to achieve it. And that is critical, making sure you've got that vision, you persevere with it, and we go forward, or you go forward with that. Success is what simply what you set to achieve. So you don't have to have massive goals or visions. If you're doing what we talk about later, it's worth doing that. And some people do, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, massive visions and goals. But whatever that is, so if you want to pay yourself £8,000 a month, then that's your goal. That's what you want to do. And then if you get to 8,000, you've achieved that goal. That's a month. And just think of the goals that you want for what you want in your life. But we'll go into that more. Many people don't even set a vision. But without one, you can't keep yourself accountable. So you need some vision, some goals in order to keep yourself accountable. Otherwise, you're just, in my opinion, just plodding on. And people do, and that's absolutely fine if that's what you want. But if you have a vision, you have a purpose, and you know where you're going, it's more likely you're going to achieve that step by step because you know where you're going. You have a destination. It's like a map. You know the destination, and the route finder finds it. But it does give you that. And you can always answer the question, did I succeed in what I set out to do? And the answer is, if you set a goal, that's yes. So whatever that is, like the £8,000, if that's what you want a month, then you set that out, you've already achieved it. Then you might have another goal, you might have another vision that you want to create, like Arnold Schwarzenegger did, like with his 4 different we'll talk about that more later, different careers. And the point is that you just need a vision to energize you and your team to get to where you're going, so you get to the same destination, because otherwise your team have no idea what your destination is. They're just coming in and doing the work, and it just creates that better atmosphere and reasoning for what you're doing, and enables you to succeed. But just remember, you succeed or you learn. So if you don't succeed in what you are looking at, the goal that you're going for, you're actually learning all the way. So there's always setbacks, but you're learning, getting knowledge, understanding. So there's always that. It's never just getting that one goal. It's the journey. So ignore some of this advice, and and don't craft a vision or boost your energy and resilience, and then things do start to get a bit of a grind. And what that means is that you start plodding, and you just going not long. You're not actually moving things forward. But so you set the pace of your business, and if that pace is no vision, or something that you're not really sure what you want or anything, then nothing's really going to happen. So you are the person, and that's why I use the why. You are the person that sets the pace, motivates your team, and actually creates the vision that they can partake in and they can help create. But we'll go into that more detail. If you and this is just like the pebbles, a bit of a Stephen Covey hint, like you focus on the rocks, the big vision and everything that you want to be going for, then all the pebbles come into place. And that's as you step, the steps, your team and everything. So if you do focus on the pebbles in the road, you'll turn them into boulders. You need to not worry about all the little pebbles. They will actually all take place. Just as you go along that journey, just make sure you know what those big boulders are. So everyone in business everything in business just starts with you, especially in your business. This is an AI generated picture. And I don't know if you can tell, but if you look at the man with glasses there, he's actually got 6 fingers. And what a weird finger, the last one. But anyway, that was just an FYI. So dreams. So I had massive dreams when I started Naylor Accountancy Service. I thought I'd be a millionaire within a few years, like 2-3 years. No, I think it was like 5 years or something. Just through my accounts, I'd have 4 or 5 offices around the country. It'd be easy to do. Now that really didn't happen. Everybody shoots for the stars when they're starting business normally. We see it in Naylor Accountancy Services when people come to us as startups. They think they're going to be millionaires, in a year. They're going to get all this business and everything. And it does happen if you do it step by step, but it is a grind unless you really have a good vision and a good plan in place. What happened to me then? Reality set in that I was basically the one, because it was only me. I had to get the business in. I had to create all the processes, the systems. I had to do all from scratch as well because I was working in industry and commerce, so in London. So I wasn't an accountant, as in from a firm of accountants with all that background knowledge. So I had to set it all up, learn it all, create it all, and then move it forward, then bring people in. The realization for me was I couldn't do everything. I was doing payroll in the evenings, watching TV with the kids. I was making mistakes occasionally because I just was doing everything. So it actually, I grew the team and everything, but it took a lot longer. And what it realized was there was times within that where I realized that I had to change. I had to change what I was doing, because what happened was, obviously we had COVID as well. I mean, we're talking just a few years late. So the last couple of years, so well, for the first 10 years, things were growing, but they were growing sort of fairly slowly. I knew I needed a team in place so I could step out. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to grow intelligent outsourcing, wouldn't be able to do other things as well. But the realization was I needed to change what I did, and it was my mindset. And that's one reason I went on acquisitions to get the talent in. And well, there's massive issues there at the time, and it's in my book, some of the stories. But I had to change my mindset and what I was prepared to do, and that's believing, trusting, and everything like that. It wasn't easy. We were flatlining. From COVID, we actually went down, then we went up. I had to get rid of my practice manager, unfortunately, just because we lost so much revenue from COVID because people closing businesses. We had a big client who left because they were growing. They needed someone international officers as well. So they left. That was a big haul for us. So we did that, and then we were getting everything back in shape, but we weren't growing. We were just flatlining. And then we started having to grow quicker by shifting the mindset and what we were focused on and how we did it. Well, that's me. And then it all trickled down because I brought a team in. So that was my realization. I'm trying to go through this fairly quickly just so that you don't sit on this. But what happened was that the last few years we've grown exponentially in compared to what we did before. That was through acquisitions, through getting people in, building a leadership team in Naylor, and also in accountancy services, and also intelligent outsourcing, which we did first. But within Naylor Accountancy Service, the whole point of that was to get me out of the doing, because I was still having client meetings. I was still bringing on new clients and everything. Now, I don't do any of that in Naylor Accountancy Services, or even intelligent outsourcing. And I never really did intelligent outsourcing because we always segregated that straight away virtually. But the whole point here is having a focus, strategy, and a vision. My whole vision and just was to get me out of the business so that I could focus on making sure the businesses were growing and we were adding in added value things, services to our clients and partners. And that's what also led me to be able to write my book, The Firm You Want, which is just there. Last year, I wrote it in 2023, published in September for the real publisher, the actual publishing of it. We did a draft publish for May, but that was only because of being able to step out and creating a whole vision, belief, and people around me. So focus on that was vision and strategy, in reality, and it was step by step, and we're still moving on that journey, but we'll talk more about that. But I've been down and I've been up. The first acquisition was a nightmare, and there's more stories than that. I'm not going to go into that too much today. Why am I all sharing this? I want to help UK, British, American, and Canadian accountants and businesses to achieve sort of similar results, be able to get themselves out, or even if you are doing that already, maybe getting some little tips. And if you know, because we all learn from each other. I'm always learning. I'm self-developing all the time. I'm always learning from people. I'm always asking questions of people. So that's the whole point of this. So I hope you guys get something from it, even if it's just one thing, one thing. But by supporting accountants and businesses, so we realize, and if they can realize or you can realize your vision, and the accountants can, it just helps other businesses and their owners, and it helps grow and create sort of opportunities for basically a better world. And that's my whole purpose. And our purpose is to help help businesses thrive, be the partners, and also do good for generations. I mean, that you know, we're already in the Philippines since 2016. We've seen massive changes in the Philippines since we've been there. Obviously, it's not us, but the Philippines is now a place where everybody's wanting to get talent from, you know, from the US, Canada, UK, because of the similarities. So, and you can see the change out there in the Philippines from a developing country. And obviously things are getting more expensive out there as well, but it's already changed since we've done that, especially post-COVID. So it's really good to see that and what's happening there. But this is one reason why I'm sharing. It's just to move things forward. So what will you discover from this? How to create and share a vision, basically, obviously, for the future. Also, how to generate energy and that you need to succeed. Because without that energy and well-being, it's difficult to keep pursuing what you're doing. How to keep going when the going gets tough. The tough get going. You just keep up. There are setbacks. It's a roller coaster, life and business. And I always say this because when I speak to business owners, you know, and accountants, they basically all have ups days and down days, and nobody's different. It doesn't matter if you are a billionaire or you're just starting up. Everybody is the same. It's people's minds, it's what's happening around them, and everybody has different, you know, has their ups and downs in business and in their selves as well. So we'll start about how to create and share your vision for the future. And everything does start with your vision, and you must, in my belief, you know, have a vision for the future, in my opinion, and just and then it does involve thinking time. So that means sitting down with a pen and a pad, just going over what you are sort of wanting to do, what you want from life, what you need as well from your business. There are 3 freedoms that we talk about. Oh, sorry, I'm going too fast. So what do you want from your business? So I know a lot of accounting business owners and other business owners that work 24/7. I was one of them. I still do work a lot, but I have 2 businesses and I'm focusing on growing things. But I'm not focused on the doing. So I'm doing business growth strategies and knowledge learning to grow things forward. But when I was in the business, I was working many hours, so I couldn't actually focus on the strategy or added value services or anything like that. So what do you want? Do you want basically a turnkey business, which is most, you know, basically most business owners want? What that means is you're not worrying about, you know, Jones and Sons VAT return not being filed or year-end accounts not being done on time, and not having issues with the payroll going out and everything being correct. You have a team to deal with that, and you aren't worried about that because there's everything in place for them to make sure they can be successful in their role. Now, is this what you want from a firm? Not everyone does want that, the turnkey business, and that's not a bad thing. Some people like being in the coalface. They like being with the clients constantly. They like doing the actual compliance, like the year-end accounts, VAT, payroll. And if that's you, that's absolutely fine. Just be aware of that, and don't worry about the vision or anything like that. That is your vision, just to continue that, and hopefully that you'll come on to the next ones, the financial freedoms. There will be financial freedoms that you'll need as part of that vision, because otherwise there's no point doing what you're doing, because you're acting as a charity. But most business owners and accountancy firm owners, bookkeeping firm owners want a turnkey business so that they can focus on more on what they want to, which tends to be added value, being able to take holiday without, worrying about emails and everything. But it might be lots of things to do with that. So you're basically three freedoms. The first one is your financial freedom. With that could be anything. So what does this look like for you? So think about what the financial freedom is that you might be looking for within your firm, in your business. So how much money would you want every month, every year, in order to take home profit, revenue? What is it that you're looking for? This tends to be sort of revenue, profit that you can take out. So a bit like your profit first type thing, which we are going to be doing in Naylor Accountancy Services. But money that you can set aside maybe for retirement, putting into a pension. I'm getting to that age where I'm putting money into my pension. I should have done it earlier, but obviously people don't tend to do it early enough. So you might be looking at that. That might be the stage of life. We now always recommend everybody anyway to do that. But make sure you have enough money to send your kids to private school. I know people who have done that as well, and also maybe for university. So you need to make sure that's the financial freedom, and then to pay off your mortgage. So there's different financial freedoms, and it just means that you don't worry about your finances. It might be the financial freedom of knowing you've got enough to pay your tax bill. If you work, you'd want more than that because you need to be able to living as well. But financial freedom, even if you don't want the big growth or a turnkey business, and you're just happy with the sole trader business or solopreneur, where you are doing the compliance work or whatever business you are doing, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure you know what your monthly contribution that you need from the business is, and make sure you work to that as your vision. So if that's 8,000, 5,000, 4,000, or 12,000 pounds a month, make sure you get that as a vision of what you're doing and set that goal and move towards it. Time freedom. Now, time is the only thing that you can spend and can never get back. You can just never get back time. So time is critical for everybody. So we all have the same amount of time, 24 hours in a day. You can't make more time out of thin air. So you need to use it wisely. So the time freedom, that might be time to spend with your family, to go on holiday. It might be time to speak to your clients because you are doing too much of the compliance. You've got no time to build those relationships and the added value services around it. For me, one of them has been the last few years, this last 2 years, is to take my 25 days holiday. And actually, I'd love to take 30 days holiday. I've never taken that much holiday. But I will have the last 2 years, and I will be going forward, and I'm looking to do hopefully more as well. But the idea there as well, for your time freedom is having that time to be with your family, maybe, to do your hobbies, do something else as well. So it's having the time freedom. So make sure you think of your financial and your time to make sure what you want from your business, and that sort of creates your vision as well. And then the last one is mind freedom. Now, mind freedom is something, as a bookkeeping firm and accountancy firm, we all help our clients do, and that is ensuring that they are not worried or stressed about their corporation tax, their VATs, their payroll, and making sure they're not going to have fines from HMRC, Companies House here in the UK. And the idea there is basically, by doing that, they can then focus on their business because they've got you as the finance partner able to help them and sort them out. If you're doing the bookkeeping as well, that's awesome, because then you're giving them mind freedom to actually focus, time freedom as well as mine, because they can then focus on other things. Well, mind freedom for you, it could be, that the business is operating well without you being there. So on holiday, you don't have to look at your emails. If there is anything major and urgent, you have a hotline that they can get you on, but otherwise you don't really worry about it. You just wait until you come back so you can actually, switch off properly. And you might be ensuring that tasks are all done, so making sure that everything's done fine, and you've got the team members there to actually pull that through. So your A team, basically. Simon Sinek, I love Simon Sinek's. I mean, his book starting with the why is amazing. But vision is that here's vision is a compass that guides you through the journey and of building a successful business. So a vision is a compass that guides you through the journey of building a successful business by Simon Sinek. Now, what that means is once you've got those freedoms and everything, you know where you're going. So you know your destination. If you don't know your destination, you don't know what you need to do on the way. You don't even know what route you're going. You might have to go off route if there's like an earth, something's happened, like a landslide or something, or there's a car crash or something, some setback. But then you move around it and you come straight. You keep following on to your destination because you know where it is. So you keep going forward. Now that is why you look for a vision. But those freedoms help you galvanize what you want from it. Like, do think about what you want from the business and what you want it to look like. I mean, I say 10 years. I look 10 years out. Now, this has been proven that everybody has a 10-year vision that's normally underestimated. So overestimate what you want in 10 years, and everybody underestimates overestimates what they can do in 1 year. Because what you do is you build your 10-year vision and you chunk it down into a 3-year target, and then you look at your 1-year plan. So you go chunk, 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 and then you get the 1-year plan. And with that 1-year plan, you split out what you have as projects each quarter. That's in the rhythm of the business, like splitting it out right down there, because you go into the business meetings that you have that help drive all of this forward. But what you want to be looking at is painting a picture for the 10-year vision. Now, that 10-year vision, you need to paint it and put flesh on it. And here are sort of a few things little tips on that. And it's looking at the future date. Make sure you've got a date there. So those 10 years, every time you re-look at it every year, that 10 years goes up a year. So obviously it's always 10 years, always 10 years. Your 3 years always is 3 years. Your 1 year is always 1 year. So you don't just bring it down 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It stays there and you keep going up. If you're looking to retire or anything like that, within that vision, you will have come out, and the turnkey is perfect if you're looking to retire and sell your business, because having that turnkey business allows a higher premium and also means that you aren't required when that firm or your business is actually sold. But you look at your future date revenue. So what revenue is it going to be in 10 years' time? Your profit, your margin, and then you've got measurables like number of clients, customers, type of clients, the average value per client or customer, the number of team members, types of clients, number of locations you work in, offices, working from home, hybrid. Really put what I call the meat on the bones, so that you can really live and breathe what that 10-year vision is going to be looking like. And that's not just you, that's also your team. So part of this is being able to share it and motivate your team towards that vision, 10-year plan as well. So there's other things you might want to put, like ESG certified, especially, I mean, and B Corp certified. I mean, these are in our 10-year vision for both Naylor Accountancy Services and Intelligent Outsourcing. So we are looking at moving up that ladder. We're already doing ESG, and we're just constantly focusing on getting that better. Well, share with your team what you feel comfortable with. So if you are the only person in the leadership team, you need to then just decide what you're happy to share with everyone else. If you have a leadership team, which is what you really want, if you want a turnkey business, because you need them to take in control of the day-to-day, then what you want is to be building that vision with them. So initially you have to build it yourself, and then in your annual strategic meeting, you get them in there, you go through it all, make sure that they are on board with it, do a SWOT and all that as well, on the business, and then look at it and then rebuild it. Now, by sharing it with your leadership team, what I've found in both Naylor Accountancy Services and Intelligent Outsourcing is that they actually they multiply what that vision is. So I was thinking, what I was thinking was big. They start getting involved and they make it even bigger. So, and you scrutinize and everything, but it's a 10-year. So the 10-year one, that's a long way out. So if you have a vision that's is a hefty one, you know the steps that you need to do as you're going along that road. So you've got the rocks and and then the pebbles will be coming along as well. Within Naylor Accountancy, we are doing acquisitions, so that's how we're doing it. So, and now what our plan is to do acquisitions every single year. And we're also looking at other countries, not just UK, to look to grow into. So we're looking at Canada for next year. That's where we're looking as well, and then we'll be looking at other ones after that, including the US. But this is our 10-year vision for Naylor Accountancy Services. Within Intelligent Outsourcing, we've got our own vision there as well. But build that vision, make it meaty. Another one is that with all this, we're not going to go into it now, but you've got your core values. So make sure you've got your core values. So that's all part of it. You know that's within there, your core focus and your niche, and then also what the whole mission purpose is. That should be within your vision. So what is it you're wanting to achieve from this? Have you got a higher purpose? Are you just wanting to earn sufficient to survive or thrive? Are you wanting to be giving back to the community? Are you wanting to help businesses grow as well? Are you wanting to do something with ESG and make sure the environment's better? Whatever it is you're wanting to do, make sure that's part of your vision. So it is all part of it. So you've got your vision. The big thing is that you must believe in it. There's no point writing a vision if you do not believe in it. The 10-year vision is so far out, it can be anything. But you have to believe in it and want it. If you don't believe in it and want it, it's not ever going to happen. And nobody's going to buy into it because you have to sell your vision to everyone else initially. Then they have to buy into it, and then they become part of it because they are then driving the business through that vision, which they are owning as well. So here's a quote by Theodore Roosevelt. It's got some great quotes, but believe you can and you're halfway there. So you can see the steps up here, but it is true. If you believe you can, you are halfway there. You still have to do the work. You still have to do the steps. It's not just a matter of believing something and it's going to happen. It's not without the action. You need to take the action, and you need everybody else to take the action with you and be along on the ride. What we do in Naylor Accounting Systems and our Intelligent Outsourcing is we have a town hall where we let the bigger team, that's the leadership team, let the bigger team know our vision going forward at a higher level. And that just brings everybody on board so they know what we're doing, and also enables them to question the leadership team and ask questions and help them sort of understand what we are doing and how we are helping them as well within their career. But it's believing in yourself and also believing in others, because you need to believe the others are capable of doing it, because you will never be able to grow a business without others. You need a team, unless you're just a solopreneur, and that's fine, but you're not going to have a turnkey business. So with all of that, it's hard to maintain the belief at times, and you will get knocks because there's always challenges, like I said. And when this does happen, it's obviously perseverance. You need to continue persevering. But what I've found really helpful is that when you get those knocks and everything, is to talk to people, talk to your leadership team, those that you're happy to talk to about things that might be concerning you. If it's issues, you should be doing it in your meetings. But if it's your beliefs, then you need to be a little bit more careful. Talk to your mentor, your coach. So just someone to talk to that can help you just sort of gather your thoughts. Another one I do is that I listen to YouTube motivational videos. I listen to them rather than watch them. And just when I'm walking the dog or something, if I'm just not really got that motivation to keep going and everything, you sometimes get that. You get demotivated. You need that motivation because you need to be motivated. in order to get the rest of your team going. So that's a little tip there. YouTube, there's lots of motivational stuff on there. Some of it is cheesy, but go with the cheese. It's actually quite good if you start going with the cheese. There's a lot of American, very, very sort of gun-ho stuff, but it's really useful. I actually find it, I love listening to all that because there's so much on YouTube, but it really gets you going if you need to, but go with the flow if you need that. Or to write down your worries and your issues. What I've found as well is that if you have issues, even if it's a team member, just write it all down. You may not even have to have that conversation with them or with anybody, but writing it all down, putting it all on paper, then look at the issues. What's the worst that can happen? What's the most likely thing to happen? What can you do about to make it better? What are you in control in? What is your business control of? So you can only deal with what you're in control of. So anything outside of that, you're not. But writing it down on a piece of paper actually helps. It helps you manage it, and you know, because you can't control things that you haven't got no control on. But believe in yourself, the capacity that you have and your team have to do it, and your knowledge and their knowledge. You might have to self-develop some of that knowledge yourself and your team, but believe that you can actually do that and move things forward. You only learn by doing something, so just get going with it. Don't procrastinate, move forward, and believe that you can be doing it. So with Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's up there, the book. I had it on LinkedIn today. I've been going over it a little bit again. So he's all about vision, all about vision. He had 4 different visions to start off with, you know, being Mr. Olympia, which he managed to do. I mean, he did it from like a teenager in Austria, not knowing too much about it, from just a magazine all the way to going to the US and being Mr. Olympia in the UK. And then he went into movies, obviously, so totally different. And he's got a massive heavy accent, and he managed to really do well as an action hero. And then he did even better on comedy, which I didn't actually realize that made him more money in comedy. So the twins, because he had an ownership of the actual royalties and everything in that, because nobody would touch him because they said he was an action hero, not a comedian. And then he went into politics, and he's more of a Democrat. His wife was Democrat, and he went into Republican, and he got LA, California, which is like some ridiculous, the 5th largest, if it was a country in the world by GDP or something, but it's massive. And he was, you know, he's successful there, and now he's doing motivational speaking. He's had 4 clear visions that he's gone for, and he's not done it small. He's done it big. So you can think big. Now, how to generate energy, and you definitely need it to succeed. So well-being is a massive thing. You will hear it from everybody. Like, look after yourself, make sure you're healthy, eat well, do exercise of some way, shape, or form. It doesn't have to be strenuous exercise, just move around. I'm obviously sat down now. I do move around a lot. People who know me, when I'm going in mastermind groups or just in seminars, I struggle to sit down. I stand up lots because, well, I just can't sit down too long. I get bad neck, everything, and I just prefer moving around. Try and move around a little bit. So morning exercise, that's a great one. Just have a little routine, even if it's just 5 minutes. Do a 5-minute one, stretching, whatever. 10 minutes is best, and you can have it more than that if you want. Standing desks are great. So this isn't a standing desk. I do have one downstairs, which I do work in occasionally as well. When I'm looking after the dog, my wife's not here. So in the office, I don't have a standing desk as well either. But standing desks are great because you can just go up and down. Walk around the block before the start of the day and at the end of the day. That's a great way to do it. And walking the dog as well. I'm no PT, by the way. These are just very simple ones. But it's like your PC. Without energy coming into it, or electricity, you are not going anywhere. Obviously, the food is the other thing. You know, make sure that you are eating fairly healthily as well. You know, just so that you're not doing it. I do running. I do taekwondo, and I do a boot camp once a week. But but I've been doing Taekwondo since I was a teenager, and I just run. I don't enjoy running. I just do running to keep fit. But I do stretching every single morning. And I have my sit-ups, press-ups, all that. I have just a routine I have to do. And if I can do it in a hotel room or anything. I was in Exeter with my lovely daughter just on an